Hello. Okay, so this is just a test really on the new camera. This is my new camera that I'm using. It's more to test the audio than anything else really, so I hope that you can hear me okay. And we'll have a chat about something that I'm quite excited about in a minute. I've got to stop myself because I want to lean into the camera to talk, because my old camera would only pick up my very dulcet tones when I'm within a foot or so. When I used to go for a bimble, I'd hold the camera, literally hold it there, and I did hear a hell of a difference if I held the camera there. Hell of a difference, 6-7 inches. And once it was away from me on the selfie stick, my dulcet tones disappeared altogether really. So I'm just talking now at a normal volume, excuse me, talking at a normal volume, so hopefully you can hear me and make some sense. So this is the first video proper with this camera. Now I've had, and the first video indoors obviously, I've had, I don't know if it's 2, no 3, I think it's 3 comments so far asking me technical questions about the camera. I don't know. That's the answer, I don't know. Bear with me. You can YouTube or Google if you're interested in the camera. And it is a Canon PowerShot SX70HS. Okay, can you see that? Canon PowerShot SX70HS. Okay, so if you want to know any specs on it, because I don't know, do I? Look, I can go all this way, and hopefully you can still hear me. Of course you can. So, why am I excited? Well, I'll tell you why, if you hang on. I'll tell you why I'm excited. I've been watching, as you know, I don't have a television, but I've been watching television for the last every 7 years. Been watching television a couple of hours or so every 7 years. The reason why I've been doing that and why I'm making this video, because I want to put this up for Monday, is because on Tuesday on ITV over here in the UK, 9 PM, ITV Tuesday 9 PM is the Up series. If you don't know what the Up series is, the Up series very, very quickly was, or is, Michael Apted is a director of fairly famous films, Gorillas in the Mist and all the rest of it, but he decided to do this documentary when these kids were 7. Because of the saying, basically, give me a child when they're 7 and I'll show you the man, you know. And it's very true in many, many respects. It's really, for me, it's fascinating, absolutely fascinating. So anyway, he did got various kids, you know, a farmer's son, a millionaire's daughter, somebody who wanted to work in Woolworths, a little boy that turned out to be a jockey and now is a cabbie, somebody with a mental illness. Of course we didn't know that. Bless him, that's Neil, a guy called Neil, and I love Neil. I think his story is fascinating. I've been watching and following him, not just on the Up series, but also a couple of different ways in my life, in my sort of adult life. A fantastic series, fascinating series. And the problem is now they're all getting older. They're now 63. So I've been following them every 7 years, 7, 14, 21, etc. up to 63 now. So Tuesday they're going to be 63. I do know that one died a couple of years ago, Lynn Johnson, bless her. She was a librarian and she died quite suddenly and quite young, obviously. That's a real shame. But yeah, some have gone through divorce and illness, terrible times, fantastic times. Little Nick, bless him, you know, little farmer's son, expected to take over the farm. Not really much education as a little boy. He went to a one-room school with half a dozen kids. And he's a very wealthy, highly articulate and intelligent man. Lives in America. He's a professor in one of the great big universities over there. God, he's super brain that guy's got. I find him a little bit conceited at times and a little bit arrogant at times, if I'm honest. But he's also, what I love, he's focused, he's driven, he knows what he wants and he gets it. Good luck to you, Nick, you know. But Neil is the one that I feel sorry for. Anyway, if you're interested in that series or if you've heard of it before, it's on, as I say, Tuesday at 9 p.m. on ITV. My friend came down to Dorset for a couple of days, and bless him, he's set me up on the internet with his password so I can actually watch it. I don't know, there'll probably be 3 or 4 or 5 1-hour slots, so it's 9 till 10 p.m. So that's what I should be doing for the next however many weeks, really. I'm really, really looking forward to it. It feels in many respects that I'm catching up with old friends because they've been in my life all my life, you know. And especially Neil, you know, I want to know how he is and how he's doing. Yeah, it's fascinating, really. So certainly if you're into psychology or anything like that, I think the programme is well worth a watch. I know people have knocked it over the years and said it's not a true reflection. It isn't a true reflection, and it never was going to be. How could you do a true reflection on somebody unless you have a camera with them 24/7? It's a bit like this, isn't it? This is not a true reflection of my life. I haven't sat here today all day talking to this camera, but you don't know what I've done in this day, in this 24-hour period. You don't know where I went, who I spoke to. You know nothing. So you only know this very thing, this glimpse, and that's what it is. So I think the 7-Up series is a glimpse into people's lives. And I just find it, personally, I find it fascinating. I really do. I should have made a Slurpee before I started this, really. Got a frog in my throat. So sorry about coughing down the microphone. Yeah, hopefully this audio is much, much better compared to my other camera anyway. So yeah, this is just made for a little test really, more than anything. I have found a video that I made last week and I've forgotten to upload it, but I'm going to upload this one on the new camera first. So the following video you're going to see in the next day or two will be my last ever video from my old camera. So this is the first ever proper video from the new camera, and in a day or two you see the last ever video from the old camera when we was out and about. Bodie lost his ball, bless him. Yeah, he's a bit panicked, but and whatever, it was quite good really, and I thought I'd show you it, you know. Anyway, yeah, so we're both fine really, pretty good. It was nice of my mate to come down, bless him, that was really good. Just give me a hand on certain things. I haven't got a phobia, but maybe it's my age or whatever. I'm finding it more and more difficult to get into technology. You know, I was dreading this camera, really looking forward to it, and quite excited to get it up and running, but also dreading it because I don't know what I'm doing with the bloody thing, you know. He's left me with it. It's all on kind of auto, and if I don't change anything, this is how it will remain. And to be honest, my last camera for 6 years, I put it on auto and never changed it. So I honestly don't think I'm going to change this. I know Resetting said you can play with the settings. I don't think I'm going to. I might do, but yeah, I might do. I'm just not very good at things like that. I was full of trepidation when I moved here to get the internet up and running. Obviously I've got to take it apart in the old place and then fit it all up together here. And even to do that, to put the wires in the back and tighten them and think about what went where and all the rest of it, as luck had it, I just remembered. It came to the evening and I thought, right, I'm going to set the my PC up, and I just remembered where everything went, and 10 minutes and it was done. So silly, isn't it, really, to worry about these sort of things and sort of fret a little bit about whatever, modern technology and things like that, because ultimately there's nothing to be worried about, you know. Saying that, I probably will never read the book, so please don't ask me any questions about this camera. It is a Canon, whatever I've said it is. You can Google it, you can YouTube it, whatever, if you're really interested. Because if you ask me about the zoom, it's renowned for having a very good zoom, so I'm looking forward to at some stage getting out and about and doing a few zooms and stuff like that. So it's renowned for having a very good zoom, but I don't know what zoom. I don't know whether it's 65 times, and even if I did know it's 65 times, what times what? What does that mean? It means nothing to me. I've had a couple of people saying, what is the maximum resolution? No idea. Never even heard of it. No idea. I don't know is the answer. So ask me any questions about my camera that you like, any, and I will type back, I don't know. So sorry about that, but I really don't know. If I don't know, I don't know, you know. I know a lot about certain things in life, and I know very, very little about a lot of other stuff in life, and I'm perfectly happy, more than happy with that. So anyway, I should love you and leave you, but just a quick reminder to those, if you have been following the Up series, it's this Tuesday night, 9 PM. It's on for an hour. So yeah, well worth a watch, really. I'm so looking forward to it. I'm going to do what I need to do in the day, get my dinner done and a shower and everything by 8 o'clock at the latest, and get myself settled down. And I mean, I'm a bit different the way I watch it, because I kind of study the nature of the people and things like that. You know, I knew Neil was had some odd ways, we'll say, when he was 7. I knew that, and I was looking forward to seeing how they might have progressed when he was 14. By the time he was 14, yeah, he was still struggling with certain things. And sadly, you know, he was, by 21, he was homeless, living in a squat. 28, living in a shed and a caravan and under a hedge. You know, awful, bless him. But his life came good, you know. Anyway, just watch it. I'm not going to go on about it, really. But I don't watch any television whatsoever. I don't own a television. I wouldn't own a television. And I certainly don't watch television, but that to me is a must. You know, I mustn't miss it. I've got to watch it. But as I say, I watch it on a different level, really. I watch individual characters, and I wonder where they're going to be in 7 years, and I try and predict, I suppose, by what they're saying now as to what might manifest in the next 7 years. And by watching it, I've thought about me and my life as well. When I was 7, what sort of a person I was, where was I, and all the rest of it. And how did that lead me on to being 14 and then 21, 28, you know, all the rest of it. Quite fascinating, really, how people change. And I've always been a people watcher, as we know, and I've always found people absolutely fascinating. And even something simple, like why does a person like this thing? What hobbies and interests people have, and why? You know, I've met people in the street and you chat away to them, and all of a sudden they say, right, I've got to go, I'm going to set the trains up. And I say, sorry? And they say, oh, I've got a spare bedroom and I've got a huge train set. And I say, have you? And he just doesn't seem the type to have a train set, you know. Or another one might do this, or another one might do that, you know. And I've got friends and, well, everybody I know, I mean, everybody that you know in life as well, likes something. or as a hobby or as an interest, or has something about their person, their nature, their being, you know, that might surprise other people if they didn't know them. So I find those sort of things fascinating, really fascinating, you know. So yeah, I'm really, really excited to watch it. So I wanted to make this video for those two reasons, just to see really how the camera responds, especially now indoors, because we're quite dark. It's the evening, as you see, it's 8:03 in the evening. I'm using my mic, obviously, so hopefully you can hear me fine. And yeah, that's partly the reason why I'm making it, because I was quite excited to make another video quickly, and then it started pissing down with rain, so I'm not outside. So I just wondered how it would cope in the semi-dark, in the gloom. And I just wanted to tell you that about the Up series. If you don't know about it, it's worth a watch. If you don't know about it, it's probably a waste of time watching it, to be honest, because you've lost so much. You need to gauge the character of the child at 7, then 14, etc., etc., you know. And because I have over all these years, it's just fascinating to me, absolutely fascinating to me. And how odd that I should be so into it, really into it, on a deep psychological level, and yet my life didn't take on that way of being at all until I got to 30. And I started going down the route of psychology and counselling and teaching and things like that. How very odd that I should go into where I was when I was a little kid. So perhaps that's right. You know, give me a child up until the 7 and I'll show you the man. Perhaps that psychology and all the rest of it was in me as a little boy. And then, of course, you go off the rails, you do whatever you do, drugs or whatever, you know, and you have a life. And then eventually you end up searching for, I suppose, the truth of who you are. And I have seen that with other people as well. When they get to 40s or 50s, the truth of the person comes out. You know, they say, I'm not working here anymore. I'm fed up with it. I want to do this. A friend of mine, a couple of years ago, she was working at a particular place and she'd been working there for years, I think 10 or 12 years. And she got to an age, I think she was 40 or 42, and she said, I want to be a midwife. I said, what? I had no idea, none. And it's a million miles removed from what she's always done all of her life. I said, well, good on you, you know. It's fascinating. I find people fascinating. Right, I've got to work out how to turn this off now. I think I know, it's only one button. If I can remember where it is, I'll be turning you off. So, yeah, we'll be back proper. We'll be outside sometime, bimbling and what have you. But this, hopefully, has been a good test. One thing I have noticed, I've been chatting me gob off, but my old camera died at 20 minutes, and I've got the flip out screen, and I can see it still says record. So, I don't know how long I can record for. I've got a book here, and I could read this book. No, I know, terrible. Anyway, take care. Love ya. Thanks for listening, thanks for watching, thanks for clicking on this video. Take care. Be well. Here I go trying to turn it off. Ta-da.